and far. Join Newrish Nital on Sugar Soda 90.3 for Fear No Favor.
Where is the cancer man? Don't wanna come out for war.
Tune in to 90.3 on your FM dial. Log on to SugarCityFMSankits.com or download Simple Radio app from the Google Play Store. And join Newrish Nital every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. as Newrish Nital tackles the issues and take your call. Fear No Favor. Every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on Sugar City 90.3 FM.
Good evening and welcome to Fear No Favor. I have a special guest with me tonight in the person of Elder Rastruth. I don't know that they're doing something.
My mommy named me Eli, so
Eli.
Eli too.
Eli.
Because yesterday was me out there, you know, me proud of what my mommy named me.
Yeah,
When I go to Jamaica, the Elder Martin of Planner say he should, so that is, I carry that too.
Right. So you're 75. Once 80, once 70, so you're 75.
Yeah, something like that. So you put in between.
Yeah, find the average.
Yeah, man, that's good.
And we're hoping to have a good discussion.
Sure.
Because many things happening in our St. Kitts, and I don't talk St. Kitts, I don't know anything about Nevis with respect to what's going on
to
over
what's
there.
going on
Yes,
over
it's St. Kitts Nevis, but
yeah.
I don't usually center my discussions
Yeah.
around St. Kitts because that
Me
is
here.
where I am.
Yeah.
I've been over in to the waters in about 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable saying what I have to say.
Yeah, I am on that point. I beg to differ with me because, you know, as Eli Freeman,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you know where the name that Freeman come from. So, forgive me if I venture over there, you know, within this.
That's all right. That's all right.
Good.
I'm a Powell too. The Powell from over there. We got
Right,
a bakery just
right,
above the
right,
pavilion
right,
over there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. That's Eli. Welcome to Fear No Favor.
Thank you.
We would have met up several times before. I have known you my entire life. I have great respect for you. I see you as somebody versed in a diverse number of areas. I listen to many of your call-ins on different radio programs, and I'm most impressed with your contribution, and I want to commend you highly for being active with respect to St. Kitts and St. Kitts Nevis affairs.
Thanks.
Right? Now, there's something I really want to ask though. There is a common understanding, I don't know where it came from, that Rastafari don't really partake in politics. But to me, politics is the science of government. So how could you be a part of government and don't actively take part? What are your views on that, though? Is it a law? Is it a stipulation? Is it a policy? Because we have some very intelligent Rastafari around here, and it would be nice to have a few of them within government. Give me your views on that.
It is not my views. It is something set by the ancients, Rastafari, non-politically this stand, you know, because of the consciousness, because Rastafari is based on black supremacy, you know. Rastafari, according to the elders, are the vanguards of black supremacy, which is the original way of living for us, the first human being, you know. We're not prejudiced to anyone. We know all other races came from us, you know. And they are our children, but race first. And that's the heartbeat of Rastafari, you know, black consciousness. That's what it's at. And it is rightly said so, because when we heal ourselves as a people, we can always deal with other races, you know. And if you notice, in Rastafari embrace people from all other races, white people, Chinese people. I went to the very first International Rastafari Conference in Toronto, Canada, organized by Professor Carol Yarney, and I saw Rastafari there with their eyes blue like the sea. It reminded me like when Malcolm X went to Mecca and see Muslim that, you know, even though in America he was coming from a color thing, you know. So it starts there, but it's a consciousness that not only deal with a race, but deal with one's spirituality. And if you notice, religion are really failing earth inhabitants. What people need is spirituality. So it really starts with the elders who say Rastafari stand non-political. And they must have their reason why they say that. Politics, Westminster-style politics being what it is, you know. It don't mean that one cannot get involved and don't be tainted. I see myself as a one who can deal with Westminster-style politics and not get tainted with whatever, you know, isms there is. And other Rastafari brethren and sisters see that too. But going forward to the collective stand of the elders, that's where it starts, you know. So it's not Ras Eli opinion or Ras so-and-so opinion, or no, it comes from the ancient. And this way of life, it's a way of life that honor the pillars, the progenitors, you know. Because we are just the progeny. It starts somewhere. And as it is rightly said, we are our ancestors and our ancestors are us. So there's no difference. It just continues. And there has been no change where that is concerned, that Rastafari stands non-political, you know. And so that is for the collective, even though individual Rastafari brethren and sisters still get involved in that system, doing so knowing their internal heartbeat, what they can go through and conquer, acknowledging what this is all about and what they can go through and still hold their consciousness, you know. So it is not an opinion of no one individual, not two individuals. It's something set for the Rastafari nation. We stand non-political, you know. And I want to say that I heard what you say about politics being, but I guess the elders made that statement because of their view on what the Westminster style politics entails, you know. 'Cause it is visible, even on the continent from where we were taken from. The politics there is not a pretty thing, you know, and we are seeing a lot of unwanted, unpleasant things working out there in the name of the Westminster style politics, the same Westminster style politics. So we see the elders as being stand as being a very cautious one, and you know, one that need to be honored until perhaps it reaches a time where our politics are something that is created by us. Because remember, you know, you as you rightly said, you know, nothing wrong with the politics. I mean, in what politics is really, in what politics really is, but is that Westminster style? So perhaps, I beg pardon. So perhaps when that style change, you know, a system created by us as a people, then you will see that stand that the elders took change, perhaps.
The Rastafari community,
Yeah.
society is increasing yearly, monthly, weekly. You have more mouth persons. Now, my question though is, if you were to, I wouldn't like to say define, because people explain things in different ways. How would you explain what a Rastafarian or a member of the Rastafari group is? What is a Rasta? Because, just a second, you have persons who wear locks, genuinely wear locks as a lifestyle. It depends on their policies and belief that it is a part of them. You have many persons going places now and locking up their head because it is less work for them down the line. But genuinely, I heard you use the word spirituality, and I love that. I really love that. I was listening to some great speeches. The last one I listened to yesterday was Obama. When he returned home, he was talking to the persons down there. And he said that we did not really inherit anything per se, but instead we have borrowed. We have borrowed this land from our children. And he means the yet unborn children. So we borrow it from them. Most of them take it from an angle, meaning that we inherited it from our ancestors. But he's of this firm belief that we have borrowed this land from our children. So tell me what
the
is...
unborn, which means he gone ahead.
Is a wheeler, you got to pass it on.
He gone ahead. He making sure that the progeny,
Right.
posterity. Yes, I love that.
So how do Rastafari, who that many persons calling themselves Rasta, to
Yes.
be honest, right?
You
And they're
start
kind
with-
of defacing the perception of Rastafari. Who is a genuine Rasta?
Tell me what you see as defacing.
Defacing meaning they're giving people the wrong impression because some of them take part in activities, events, and got policies that are inconsistent with the firm inner belief of the Rastafari, the genuine Rastafari.
Okay. You know, as I said before, you know, Rastafari is a consciousness, and that's where it really starts. That is why, you know, when Morgan Heritage sang, it is still echoing out there. You don't have to be dread
To be Rasta.
to be Rasta. I would have preferred if it continued the name and say Rastafari, you know, because there's a big difference still. You know, there's a lot of bridges. There's a big difference between Rasta and Rastafari, you know, and it might sound away, but really, you know. So as I say, it's a consciousness. That's where it starts. That is why I know Rastafari brethren and even sisters who don't carry locks. They don't carry no locks at all. It is the consciousness of that they have within themselves, the way they live, the way, you know, they are just Rastafari. And as I said before, Rastafari is a black consciousness. So therefore, it means from you is a member of the black race. Whether you carry locks or not, once you have that consciousness, you use Rastafari, because Rastafari is a name of a person, you know. Just like how Israel is the name of a man. Remember, going back to names, so they call it a land now. But it's Jacob. It's the struggle that Jacob had with the Most High, that the Most High said, look, you, man, you're different. No more, nobody can call you a Jacob, you know. You're too real. You real. The rest of them fall, but you're real. So he said, you is real. And it interpreted as, it's Israel. But it's really Israel. You're really real, man. You real, Jacob. So, and then you find the different thing they know. So, Rastafari. In Ethiopia, they say Rastafari. I have a way of, when I pronounce it in the Ethiopian tongue, I will say Rastafari. It's the name of a person. So, the breaking down. Right now, I have a big, take this branch of my mouth. I have a big issue with the entire global Rastafari community concerning the name of His Imperial Majesty. This is something that I am saying to the public outside of the Rastafari community for the very first time. The Rastafari community has been violating, Rastafari community globally has been violating, is in big violation about the mentioning, the utterance of the name of His Imperial Majesty. I'm going to ask forgiveness before I do that. The entertainers started, and it just catch on like wildfire, and it's the biggest violation ever. And people will say, people this Rasta and people beat Rasta, and we have this massacre in Dominica and Carol Bay in Carol thing in Jamaica when they brutalized Rasta. But we have done and continue to doing something in our midst, which is a terrible violation by calling the name of His Majesty and saying Selassie I. The name of His, forgive Majesty I, the name of His Imperial Majesty is Haile Selassie, which means power of the Trinity. It's an Ethiopian name with a meaning. When I get baptized in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, I was given the name Gabri Maskal, which means servant of the cross. Every Ethiopian name have a meaning, and there is no one in Ethiopia have that name. No born Ethiopian can claim that name, Haile Selassie, because it means power of the Trinity. And over the years, the Rastafari community, you hear them all both out on stage, Selassie I. So, I said that to say this, forgive Majesty I, Haile I. I said that to say this, that even amongst Rastafari in the highest core, there is violation. There's a lot of stiffing out going on. You see, people who leave in the hair uncombed, I don't care them lock. I don't call those things locks. You either leave your hair uncombed, and it look like because you're a black person and your hair must not up. When I this morning, I didn't used to like trim not comb, and I be not here. I used to go up on me like Sambo. You know, remember the Sambo picture?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a natural thing. Now they have, it's now become a business, but they're selling it look like locks. So we see all these things playing out, and we are not blind. We are looking on everything that is going on. But believe you me, all this is part of the sieving. Many are called, few are chosen. Rastafari stands alone. And believe you me, we see Rastafari something like, see, I just use the prophetic term there, many called, few chosen. It's something like, we're hearing the sound of about reparation. Sister Carla is right now in Switzerland dealing with that this year along with others. We're hearing the sound about repatriation.
Repatriation,
right.
and reparation.
Yes, which are inseparable. Because you cannot say, okay, we are compensating you for taking you away from your rightful home of a continent.
And still stay where you are and claim
yes.
reparation.
Yeah. I mean, who?
Contradictory.
Very much so. So, we are saying that with this thing here, the situation here, you know, it's like that. It's like it's like it come to that situation where people who have a look, who just have a mere look, it really have nothing to do with the liberty of Rastafari. We watch these things playing out and we know, say, it is a sieving and they're going to leave right now. Yeah, the point I wanted to make is, now after that rights of repatriation have been given and come right down to the nitty-gritty, you find maybe the size of Sinkits and the type of people raised as a continental people accustomed to land and enough land. The size of Sinkits maybe are 3-4 families who settle in Sinkits alone. 3-4 families settle in Sinkits. And 2 families settle in Newrish. According to the size, 10 family in Guyana, 15 family in Jamaica, or something like that. Because we will have at our hand reach now our rightful home to spread out as we want, as the original kings and queens we were before we were taken away. Rastafari is like none to that. After the sieving out, you will see who stand. Junie Mowatt, they say, when they went Africa during the Zimbabwe independence celebration, and the place was hot with gunshot, you know, and Bob still decided to go up on stage, go perform, and gunshot start in the place, and people scatter, and Judy Moore say, Bob ain't move, and the first thing he said to them is, we will see who is the real revolutionary, because the hottest battle begets the sweetest victory, you know. So let this sifino go on, because no one, not even Wasili, can mar this liberty. Stand falsify in this liberty.
So do you think...
And the next thing too, let me finish. I'm not saying this to say, well, if you see a man have locks on his head and cut his locks, is it have anything to do with the change of his consciousness? I got you locks cutting. I got what the place needs, the Spanish place in South America the other day, Colombia. Went in some long journey up in some go across to South America, reach up in some high hills, some India, get lice in my head and had to cut out my locks. And even doing that, no one could have tell me that I am not Wasili same way, because the consciousness inside of me. It's me.
So do you think
that it is internal?
Repatriation.
Yeah.
It literally means to go back physically to Africa, or it means that we must start thinking and aligning ourselves with the consciousness of Africa. Because you could take a man out of Africa, but you cannot take Africa out of him. So regardless of where in the world he lives, that consciousness is supposed to dwell in him. So what do you think about that?
I agree. And mental repatriation is as important as the physical.
That's right.
Definitely
that is what
so.
I'm getting at.
Yeah, man.
That is what I'm getting
Yeah,
at.
man. You know, a lot of I just said that, you know, a lot of Rastafari bridging the leave from Caribbean islands and go on the continent and get mixed up with a whole heap of things.
I'm just going to ask about that.
Yeah, man, it happened. You have who go there and be successful same way, you know. You even one leave from here near Makushi. Makushi went and leave from here, go England and things, spend some years. Makushi from somewhere down in the Mother News, and end up leaving from England and reach South Africa and start to, you know, because when you're in them places as a black person and your economic standard is up to, you can, you know, do things. He ended up buying one of President Botha house and live and make himself comfortable, you know, start a business and start to help the entire Rastafari community. I just was watching, he ended up passing there, ended up died there amongst the people. I just was watching his funeral service and people, dreadlocks and bald come from all over Africa to attend Mas Makushi funeral, if I'm mulling news. So there is the you know, the successful, and there is the go up on the continent and get perished. So you have to be mentally prepared. The mental preparation, the mental repatriation is very important.
We have come quite a long way physically.
Yeah.
And we have been out here for quite a long time.
Yes.
So don't you believe that consciousness that's supposed to be concentrated within us as Africans would have been diluted to such an extent that some of us just cannot retrofit it.
Yeah, that is a sad.
Long time,
yeah.
We're not hearing, a lot of us not practicing certain things. So as a result of that, we have lost a great degree of this consciousness.
That is a sad reality.
Because you feel that there are Kitishans here, for example, who can go down to Africa and be very comfortable, understand what is being said, understand the culture, because we have been so long and so far withdrawn from that. Only those who maintain that consciousness and did the reading and everything else would have been kept abreast with what's going on. Those, some got left behind. You don't believe a lot of us as Kittitians would have gotten left behind in terms of principles, policy, consciousness, spirituality, with respect to the African genuine composition?
Yeah, as I said before, it's a sad reality. Yes, it will be so. And not just from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, other islands too, But we are dealing with St. Kitts and St. Kitts and Nevis, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, man, it's a sad reality. It's a sad reality. The readiness is not there. And you'll be surprised. You find that non-readiness in right across the board, different in the different classes,
But who is to blame? The elders? Because you an elder. How much of an effort you made to ensure that this thing is preserved, even proliferated through the generation that came after you? For example, I did chemistry, and I have a granddaughter, 4 years, and a Sunday time, as often as possible, I make sure she gets some chemistry classes, do some labs, because none of my other children would have gone in that direction with respect to chemistry, and it kind of hurt me. So she's, all excited, very enthusiastic about doing a little chemistry on Sundays with her grandfather. So what happened to the elders here? Did they fail? Did they drop the ball? Who dropped the ball then? Maybe that's all a little better.
If any blame one that she gonna got to be all of we get blame. But believe you me, you see the way this Bob Singh said this way so hard to run, You see the way the thing are run. A lot of preaching don't go on, a lot of talking and a lot of, different ways of disseminating the message. But right now, it reached to a point where, example, prophetically the preaching of the gospel, if it's not done, is soon done. Me hear what you say, the reference what you make towards that educational aspect there with your family. And them things, they have to be consistent still. But you see, when you come to certain things, it's example. So Rastafari I reached to a point, where, as I say, is a liberation, vibration towards the total liberation of black people, the chains they move, but the mental slavery, which is worse or still less so. So Rastafari come seal up all of that where you live as a member of your race, you live black, you live continental. So it reached a point, where the struggle reached, and where Rastafari liberty, according to how the liberty go and the civil out we are going with our mates, we just live. We just live in. And you have to observe our live more than listen to what we say about we live. Because our live is your live. We are living the way the original continental black man and woman live.
When you say we, who are you including?
Rastafari I'm talking about.
Rastafari.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Good. Rastafari is living, whether lax or no lax, is living how we ought to live as the original people of the earth. In the cradle of civilization. All the whole entire borders.
Elder, there is a certain time of the year
Yeah.
when an opportunity is presented
Yeah.
to the Rastafari movement
Yeah.
to accentuate their policies, the spirituality, the righteousness. And it is just alarming that according to Swallow, Liberation Day, the 26th of May, when all black person declared freedom there.
Yeah.
When we have that thing and we look across Keon Street,
Yeah.
Elder, you can't even form a football team from the persons, the Rastafari, who come out
Yeah.
to lend to the numbers.
Yeah.
Why is it like that?
We're talking about numbers. Okay, listen
Numbers,
to me.
yes.
Listen to me now. That's what I'm talking about. See, I just make the reference a while ago. I make the reference a while ago about repatriation. I make the reference about many card futures. And because, listen to me now. This is not no bandwagon thing, you know. Listen to me. This is a liberty that is going to save not just the race, but humanity. So therefore, it have to go right. Look, we coming from a time, you see, I alone, you know, with assistance from, a lot of my assistants used to come from people who was in government offices, printing this, that, prepare pamphlets, this, that, get everything organized, because everything in the head, you know. That is why we always talk about the right faces in the right places, you know. Because when the right faces is not in the right places, things don't organize and go where it's supposed to go. Look, you know, I live in Jamaica, and 20 years, come back and was reminded about something. I want to talk about it here now. I was reminded that one African Liberation Day, years ago, one that I organized in Palmal, then Palmal Square, Jatut, my good Rastafari brethren from Buckley's, started to play music that is not appropriate for the occasion. And I told Jatus, I forget about it tonight. When I come back, I was reminded. I told Jatus, no man, don't play that. Don't play that here. And Jatus insists on the boxing down. Yeah, and tell him movie thing for me. I was reminded that because I didn't even remember that it happened. But I said that to say that what okay, me look on it, me and Jatus is there, you know. Jatus my virgin, you know.
Jatus.
Yeah. It's not that me and him have no thing between it. He said he don't remember. I don't remember, he don't remember. But it happened, somebody say it happened. No. I said that to say that's how that's the kind of level. That's the kind of level. We were so conscious about what people are hearing. The kind of lyrics people are hearing. Right now, hey, you don't see what I'm going, you know? See, we talk about Bio Messiah, you tell me, you Bio and are you student? And see the other day, me give an opinion and me don't even know you're student and me and you think about it.
Right.
Me here say he was in a little prosperous again. We say, you guy, you know if you make me and Byron meet?
Yeah, they're going to happen.
Yes, please make me and Byron meet. Byron need an ancient around him. You know, Luciano wife, I can send you the voice, Luciano. You know, when me in Jamaica, Luciano not going to be without me. When me not born. You know, they say king have no one in the country. And it's true, you know. Me look upon Bio Messiah upon stage. And me love him confidence on stage. But me see him do certain things and me say, wow! Come after that. He need guidance around him. You see me? But we wish him the best.
We spoke about that.
Yes. They wish him the best. Because, but the point we were trying to make. Okay, we were trying to make the point, say.
The numbers.
The numbers, the atmosphere we set there in them time, the kind of consciousness, the way we pour out our life, because we still have that consciousness, you know. The consciousness is even higher. That's why we ain't in the holy for talking now. Because we see just be a blabber, you know, hey, look, Virgin, this is we have to go on. And it better that the sieving go on, so that at the culmination of the sieving, who turn up is the right faces in the right places. The hottest battle begets the sweetest victory. That's where we there right now. It all float in the politics. Me hear somebody say, change government, same thing. And then you got somebody say, okay, we have to keep changing till we get the right thing.
Yes.
Mac Mahana think
Yeah,
just keep saying
Mahana
that.
said that.
And here wrong, that's the Westminster style politics. Right now, not really politics can catch yourself. The Westminster style. Because everything, including Rastafari, the right faces must be in the right places.
I have a ticklish question.
It don't matter, man. We can deal with any ticklish question. Talk to me.
We have churches,
Yeah.
different denominations.
Yes.
Peter would go to church X
Yes.
and be an integral part of the development of that church.
Yes.
Then somewhere along the line, there is some sort of falling out.
Probably know
Peter
where.
in the church, in
the
church
same
X,
church.
yes.
Yes, church X.
So Peter would leave church X
Yes.
and go and form church Y
Yes.
and complain about the principles or lack of principles in certain areas. He might not agree 100%. He might agree 80%, and the
Yeah.
20 that he did not agree,
Yeah.
agree to,
Yeah.
that forced him to go and form his own church.
Go ahead.
And that is why we end up with so many different denominations. I'm not even talking about different branches.
No.
Anglican branch,
Yeah,
Anglican,
no.
but
It ain't-
denomination.
Denomination.
Now I want to bring that same scenario
Yes.
to the Rastafari community.
Okay.
What if you all are so deeply embedded in principles and religion and everything else, deeply rooted?
Yes.
Why are there so many different Rastafari organizations?
Okay.
Did it emanate from disagreement? Did it emanate from power? Why are we having so many different Rastafari organizations?
Call the names them of the organization.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to ask you how many of them. I know about a few.
Call what you know, man. Let me hear you.
I know Baba Shanti.
Go ahead, that's one.
I know those guys down at Wingfield. I don't know who they are.
Wingfield.
But you'll have to tell me, but I know there are quite a few of them.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
here to
talking-
be informed.
Okay. See, we're just talking about a name, Rastafari. All right. No. You see, it's something like the Earth population, you know. Well, we got about 7-8 billion people in the Earth, yet everybody different. Everybody on different level. Every human being. Now we have a set of people now who say, okay, I'm not Rastafari. Now, within that set of people now, what you have again? You have different people. You have
Subsets, a lot of subsets.
you have different levels.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you're going to find right there now is a flexing out of the levels, which is all part of the sieving too, you know. Because you find, okay, you find maybe you see you call one Bubba Shanti, and then me call the next one named Naya Bingi. Maybe you find now people who are shut up in the Bubba Shanti now. You find a couple thousand of them that they a chant with Bubba Shanti, and when you look now, when the sieving done, a couple hundred leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with the same Naya Bingi or the same Wingfield or what you just called, couple thousand. And then when the sieving out done, couple hundred leave, a couple scores.
In schools, yeah.
Yeah. So the prophetic sieving dictate all these things I know. And these things here have to go on. Here why they have to go on. It's something like I don't know what they call the system where you have competition. Use up
Capitalism.
you good where you have competition where okay this I sell this but it's competition is who you know what I mean. So it goes down to that, you know, where you find say, okay, why is all this go on and go on and all this go on? It can only be the success, and I more success, and I more successes, and I more successes can only be where the right faces are in the right places, and that's the culmination of things.
So are you saying there's a possibility that there might have been some hypocrites amongst the genuine Rastafari?
Hypocrites.
It's a word. My vocabulary
Yeah,
ain't as wide as yours.
Me?
But I want to put it in a way so that
Hypocrites.
people
What can
would
I say?
understand.
No, hear this. No,
Non-conformers.
I want to put it in the way Bob sing a song say, some are branches, some are this, but I are the roots. Roots, branches and all them things that
And
different to
they
the
got
root.
different kind of roots too.
I know.
They got the main root, the tap root,
Yes.
the fibrous roots.
Well, all right. No, okay, so you bring it then down there now. Right now, globally, we having something what is called Elders Council. Rastafari Elders Council.
Caribbean?
Regional and
Globally.
global.
Mhm.
Think it's in the process of forming that.
A branch of that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Council of Elders,
Mhm.
Rastafari Elders. No, whatever group you can call, none of them passed the elders. The elders make the final decision with everything Rastafari. I say that to say, okay, a council of elders, in a place like Guyana, a council of elders will make up like with 6-7 people. You know.
And any females?
Of course. We can't leave
Or they are considered amongst the elders?
What we
Okay.
have I suggested the council of elders that's supposed to be formed in St. Kitts. I suggested a very highly regards Rastafari woman who we affectionately call Sister Pet.
That's the Prime Minister's mother?
Beloved mother, yes.
My good friend.
Oh, yes.
Somebody the other day.
Yes, she's considered, someone who, so yes, and now the places, decisions are there too. Because remember, it's a consciousness. This have nothing to do with male or female, And then now, especially in the Nyabingi house, it is said that the word sound Nyabingi is a woman who bears that name. So you see what I mean? We're not there. And then now, even though we have some strict things in the Nyabingi yard which came from the elders they said the daughters not to beat the harps, not to beat the drum. They have to be covered at all times in the tamlock. You still got lioness sisters who break that commandment, So see, we were just talking about the non-political stand. You might have a time where that broken too because you have daughters. Queen Ifrika mother, I see her oftentimes. Queen Ifrika born in the mountain, Same Queen Ifrika will be on Tony. And her mother is a very powerful Rastafari. When she passed now, after Aita, she will step in the tabernacle chanting Nyabingi with her locks flowing in all its glory, and that's not permitted. She will go up on all the drums and chant. Yeah, so you still have people who...
Is she seen as a non-conformist? Is it embraced? People resist that? People voice the resistance?
Not there and then. They just have to make the chanting flow. Maybe after that
pocket conversation.
Yeah,
whisper.
Yeah, I mean, this is in the midst of church. You can't tell somebody who getting with the spirit. You can't tell them no, that is not the way to get him. She's chanting Nyabingi and she feel like removing the thing from how she had, and let her locks flow.
So are you saying that similar to the church?
I remember the church got away a covering here and all kind of thing. Yeah, remember? My mother never used to go to church without a piece of cap on she head, I used to, mother got cap on she head every time she go to church.
So similar to the church where somebody might be filled with the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
And spread out on the ground and get on with all kind of things. And after all that, they can't remember even doing 1/10 of that. Are you saying that there are similar situations, just like the situation you call when the woman just lay down her lap?
No. She remember everything what she doing. Me talking about that. No, that's the power of the moon. So she conscious of everything what she doing.
Okay.
No, it's nothing like taking with no spirit and doing what she doing. She know everything what she doing, why she doing it. Yeah. Yeah, nothing like that.
Hear that.
Yeah, man, nothing like that.
So, despite all the diverse clubs
Yeah.
or organizations, is there a time when that common denominator of coming together, do you have that occasion during the year, certain time of the year, or people just continue, the different groups continue to do their own thing
Okay.
and maybe try to outdo the other groups? What is it really?
Okay. You have Rastafari, as I say, started. This liberty started with a person. His name is Rastafari. Baptismal coronation name Haile Selassie the First. One's whatever group who bears that name, who acknowledges His Imperial Majesty, His divinity, His immortality, and chant to His Majesty, the birth of His Majesty, are very significant in our midst. And that is observed globally. Okay. Inside of that gathering, whether respectively or, in a respective area, whether you think it's Nevis, Antigua, Barbados, Jamaica, wherever, it is the same procedure. It is chanting and giving isis to who we see as our, who are worthy, who are laudable and worthy of all our isis, thanksgiving, everything, So during that time, I can easily say, yes, there is that oneness globally of Rastafari. If you're talking about now, apart from that, there's a big Rastafari global conferences. Thing that goes on right now on Zoom. I used to be part of it when time permits, but right now I'm more into, in my life, okay, I've been Rastafari from a very young age, 16, 17, and up to the time I reached to a point now in my life of sharpening my consciousness. Therefore, in so doing, I don't have time with a lot of things. That is not helping me to do so. Okay, so I say that to say it's a difference between the global chanting of giving thanks during an occasion like His Majesty's birth, where there's that one consent, then it's much different than when there's a conference and there is tug of war. There is power struggle. I don't have time for those things. Gatherings that there's no one heartbeat, there's no one consent. It is not okay. The forming of the OAU, 19 whatever it was.
Organization on African Union.
Yes. What was the year? It missed me now, but I still remember. His Majesty, I think they started 58, and then the year after that, 63. Yeah, but Spark started 58, and then continued 1963. What we now celebrate as African Liberation Day, because rightfully so, unity begets liberation. But it was formed Organization of African Unity, all heads of Africa, independent state. Yeah.
Is it a particular date, or is it last Monday in the month?
No, it is
Is it the 26th of May?
No, It is a particular date. It's the 25th of May.
25th?
Sorry.
26th?
Sorry. It is 1963, the 25th. Yes, I'm right.
25th?
Yes, it's the 25th.
Okay, well, Swallow got me misled a bit because he
Okay.
sang Liberation Day, the 26th of May, the whole
Okay.
black nation declare its freedom there.
Okay. I guess because it was near to that date, but it is confirmed that it's the 25th. We can
25th.
we can confirm it. 1963, 25th of May.
Okay.
No, you find, His Majesty, during that forming of the OAU, His Majesty said, we cannot leave here. We cannot leave here. My fellow heads of state, we cannot leave here unless we accomplish what we came here to do. Are you with me?
Sure.
Now, for that to be accomplished, what it takes? One accord. So the point I am making, when in my age as Rastafari, I do not have no time to be in spaces, in gatherings, where there is no one accord. I just allow the civil to take its place and live Rastafari. That's where it reached right now.
Okay. We
Yeah.
have emphasis is being placed on reparation.
Yes.
What form? Yes, we have all been, our ancestors, they were really disadvantaged to a great degree.
Yes.
What you think can appease the hearts and minds and souls of us today with respect to valued reparation? Could it come in the form of scholarships? Could it come in the form of cash? What do you think would be ideal? Because some of us not going to get. Our children might benefit because they might say, look, we can give your country at least 10 scholarships per year to do a degree or go down to the master's. What you think might be most appropriate? I know there are persons working on this in Scala and those guys, but what are we looking for, or what should we look for as reparation?
What is the meaning of reparation?
To me, it's to right or wrong,
Okay.
correct or wrong,
Okay.
and let the person feel it, something tangible. But it could be intangible too. It could be an education, but is education really intangible? Because you get a certificate that you can parade the entire world with. What do we do? How can we provide for those children yet unborn from what we get from reparation?
So therefore then, in your description there in what reparation is, what we do, we look at all of the, everything about it. I don't think we should just observe reparation in just one angle, that angle. No. All embracing. All embracing. It happened to all of us. We are the evidence, we are still here, The continent is still there, The continent suffered too, And what I think is hindering reparation from being a touchable reality too, is that we are not moving together. And when I say we, I mean the entire race.
We need to move in unison.
Yeah, that is the word.
Move together,
unison.
think alike.
Yes, one accord. So you just see me talking about the Rastafari.
Yes.
It's the same thing. When we, Sister Carla, I hope you're listening, It's over there in Switzerland, And if you ain't listening, somebody go tell you the quick. When we, as a race of people, excluding none, all inclusive, in one accord, say, utter, echo, reparation, 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 no! it happened.
Yeah, but it's amazing, you know. Remember, we are part of a lot of
Because now let this thing ain't happen.
a lot of international conventions. We would have acceded to, ratified to certain international conventions. We have been getting help from places like England as well too.
Yes.
And you realize whenever any effort, concerted effort, is put forward to the leader of the United Kingdom, so to speak, an apology can come from the mouth.
Brother Nital.
Something you see it on the face,
Brother
facial
Nital,
expression.
let me try remember that politician there from Clarendon. He's always called himself a
Clarendon, that is in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
He refused to shake a white man hand in front of me. Hey, you know, hey, let me tell you something. Let me try to remember his name. He just called himself Plain Clothes Rasta. When he come on the stage, you know, you read the brown man. Say, greetings in the name of Rastafari. In the suit and tie. That's what I tell you, you know. Me no watch people head, you know, Brother Nital. I'm trying to remember the man name. And you know, when the Jamaican out there remind us, come from Clarendon, brown man. Anyway, Rasta they there. On stage. Conference go on, Professor, what's your name? Professor Sherry, what's your name there? Conference go on in university conference room. Come from reparation. The Prime Minister was supposed to come, but he said, what do you want below the Prime Minister name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he said him.
Deputy.
All them telling me
Deputy.
in Jamaica. Professor Warren Shepherd was the chair. I went there with my Rasta Virgin, Rasta Isoja Junior Manning, who always carry me everywhere. You know, in Rastafari, yeah, me go Jamaica and yeah, they say have king have none in your own country, you know. Meeting the Honorable Prime Minister Portia Simpson sent call every Rasta organization and leader in Jamaica and demand they make sure, you know, all the men are born they demand they make sure they carry me, you know. But in Nital. Yeah, man, God bless I suggest, but as he should come, man, we have to go, you carry, writing up garden house thing, and she's you see the Prime Minister, the woman there, you see feminine energy. Yeah, man, we love
Professor
it, man.
Beckles was there?
During them time. Yes, he was in Jamaica them time there. Is he the help organize it too? I think he encouraged her to do it. Yeah. And yeah, may I tell you. Yeah.
So what do you think they can give to us?
So, let me make the point there. What name? Henry? What the man there from Clarendon name? Henry? Is the name coming in my head, you know. The conference going on hot and heated, preparation and at the ceiling of the conference, you know. The man who come represent the prime... Britain Prime Minister put out his hand. Mike Henry. Yeah, man, I get to know old, but me mentor, Martin Planner used to always tell me, you know, he truth. This is name he truth, you know, he say he truth. This is a elder, you know, Rastafari elder in Jamaica, and then Martin Planner. He's went down to the death. When we burying him, you know, Jimmy Cliff revealed that Martin Planner born in Cuba, you know, just like Rita Marley, you know. That elder is the elder who, when His Majesty visit Jamaica, His Majesty called him to tell the people and come off of the red carpet that he can come through, you know. When we went to Jamaica, that elder there, Rita Marley, put me to live with, you know, in Scott's Pass, you know. Me sit down at the elder feet and learn, you know. May I tell you, yeah, Janu.
We ain't come closer home.
Right, you know, you see where the struggle is, right, you know, it's just liberty doing it. The right faces have to be in the right places to make our race be as it ought to be. Because the pussyfooting is what causing the race to continue to suffer. The pussyfooting, wrong faces in right places.
But to have the right faces in the right places, that
Yeah.
is almost perfection. And we don't have much earthly perfections. How do we compromise?
Perfection. Perfection.
Close to the right person in the right places.
One asked me the question there. I think it's I asked me the question there on radio. Why the right places in the right? Who is the right places for the right places? I mean, me turn to I and say, by their fruits you shall know them. Because what you call imperfection, what you call imperfection or close to perfection, it's just people with the right attitude, with the right consciousness, with the consciousness that it takes to do what ought to be done. Simple. Because
with a humanitarian heart.
yes, but of course. That's why His Majesty, His Imperial Majesty had put it to a point where he said, until the color of a man's skin, he carried right up to humanity. Until the color of a man's skin and of a man's eyes have no significance. Bob Marley singing it. Wow. That means you don't watch people no more, even though you hear me talking about black consciousness, That's what we're heading for, Rastafari come with the intention to heal humanity. But first you start with yourself. Because Marcus Garvey said, ways first. If you don't know yourself, you can't know others. You know how much white women try to draw me in to have a relationship with them? And I'm not scorning no human being. They are human beings. But why should I have a relationship? Years I go through these temptations. St. Kitts, Jamaica, Antigua, different places. But I decide that how can I contribute to black men who do not take time to know themselves nor their black woman. This is race healing. This is race first. And go have so when I go have a relationship with you now, I don't have no time for my race. Yes, love is one thing, but I mean, is it really love? Because it is said, the highest description of love is what? I learned that the highest description of love is that God is love. So if that is the highest description of love, that God is love, you think God will love for me to go into a relationship, my God? Why? So that is why Rastafari consciousness is so significant, because Rastafari see God, as Marcus Garvey say, within the image of how you look. No, believe you me, there's something going on in the Christendom world where when people worship, Jesus, they don't see Jesus how they look, I noticed in some of the churches, they take down the pictures of them, the blue-eyed pictures of them we used to see in the churches. You hardly see them in churches again, So just some churches have the mean. The point I want to make is that a lot of people, even I see my mother, because even my mother who named her children from the Bible and who Christian-minded woman, my mother got Jesus' picture hang up there and Jesus got his blue eye, and then if a conversation come up about Jesus, is the picture of my mother watching. Because that's who she sees as Jesus. That's how Jesus look. And then you still have a teaching say, God don't have no look, God is a spirit. But then when the look come, they're still seeing that image. Rastafari say, see your creator looking like you. So when you do that, it lifts your consciousness to a level that, is different, completely different. Because you're seeing the divine, you're seeing who you associate with divine and having a divine power looking like you. That is very high. Very, very high.
It is interesting that the Rastafari community is trying to stay as buoyant as possible. The Christian community, religion, we are struggling a bit in that I believe that pastoring in a church should be regulated because we have any and everybody proclaiming to be pastors. We're supposed to have preachers and teachers. I believe that you're supposed to get two in one. Not that
in a person.
Yeah, two in one. If you're not two in one, you're not complete. Because you can't be doing the preaching and don't understand things sufficiently well to do the teaching. Because if you don't understand it well enough to teach it, when you preaching, it's just as if you have a poem to learn and you just regurgitate without the feeling. You understand? So I can't see the two of them being separated. So when people say they are preachers and they are teachers, to me that is two in one. What do you think about that? Just for you, in the Rastafari aspect of it. The elders, you know, an elder should be really grounded in experience and knowledge. You can't get somebody pop up from any and anywhere and have persons looking unto them as if they are the genuine elder. It cannot work. Things would break down. You have a stratification, and at the helm of it, you have the elders. Anything other than that, where you want to take the elders and spread them across, it can be. You must have a pyramid. You must have a helm. If you do not have a helm, but instead you turn the pyramid upside down, because up there is too broad. Those things don't go places. Those things can't go places. Can't go places. You can't turn the pyramid up and upside down.
Not at all.
At the peak up there, you must have an elder. An elder where everybody below converge unto that elder. We're having too much diversion. What we need is conversion. And they converge unto that elder for safe and sound. Safe and sound. Teaching must be safe and it must be sound. Because if you falsely indoctrinate somebody, that is a teaching. And they will carry on their life based on that false indoctrination.
Serious thing.
We gotta get serious. So that is why I'm asking whether or not you don't think that a representative, a genuine representative within the structure of government should be one of the elders who can spread the spirituality, the levity, so to speak. Unless we can stay out and get it corrected, somebody got to be there.
Within the structure of the Westminster style government.
Yeah, because if you want to change it, you can't stay out and change it. You got to go in and incrementally nip at it until you get what you want. And I think that space should be there for that. Just like how they have junior ministers of government. I believe they should have a position for an elder, a well-respected elder across the various sub-Rastafari communities. So there can be representation, better understanding. Rastas are not violent, Rastafari are not violent
the
people.
Westminster style politics and those who participate in it don't see that level. And hear what you just said about Rast. You know, one high position police officer way up in the ranks said recently that if it were not for the presence of Rastafari in Jamaica would have been more bloodier. You can research it. What you're saying there is the truth, you know. Just like how we just made the made a point about Baron Messiah and his goings, you know. And as I told you, entertainers in Jamaica see the need for it, and yeah, entity like even the Westminster style government should really have that kind of guidance going forward. You know, perhaps they will do it with religious denomination, but don't see the need to do it with Rastafari. And perhaps even when it is being done, something near like that is being done, like including Rastafari in certain things that concerns the government. The choice don't always be the right choices. You know, I keep speaking about the right pieces in the right places, you know. So it's all of that. But let's hope that in going forward they will see the need for it, because, you know, it can be a very potent kind of, you know, very revolutionizing.
But that is
to do
why
something like that.
we need to be all embracing inclusivity.
Yes,
When you find a Rastafari applying for a job,
yes,
from the time they know that you're a Rasta,
yeah,
Rastafari, there always some sort of silent hole or pathway
but
to deny you the opportunity
stick
to
up
be
in,
employed.
they have Rastafari in government government places right
Them the
now.
outliers. We call that in statistical outlier. The
Okay.
numbers are too small.
Okay.
Sometimes you go to an employer
Yes.
and they don't sense you're a Rasta.
Mm-hmm.
There's always
So you're saying
a
that's still going on?
Of course.
Mm.
Of course. All the way back by Victor Eddie going Dominica.
Mm-hmm. And it's still,
And
it's
they deal with him
because
such a way.
because of that.
Because he had locks on his
Yes.
head.
Yes.
Yeah, go. Rastafari.
Yes.
We got to done with this surgical discrimination. If Rastas are non-violent people, Rastas are more health conscious, because you don't have to go in a dictionary to look up that. If you compare the diet of a Rasta and the diet of a non-Rasta, the more nutritious diet comes from the Rasta. Rasta always try to sort out things amongst themselves without bringing it outside of the community.
There you had to hear,
If
you
you
had
could-
to hear Rastafari kill another Rastafari.
Right. If all this is present within the community, I mean, we got to see how we could extrapolate that out
And I'm
into
glad
normal
I'm glad you made the
society.
point, because a lot of killings that goes on in Jamaica and other parts of the world is like Christian killing Christian, because most of these people, they will tell you there's Christians.
You're correct.
No, I just thought about it. So I mean, when I say Christian, I don't mean like all of them jump up in church, no more than if you ask them, you believe in God? They say yes, and Jesus, they say yes. You know what I mean? So that is like a conformity to Christendom, like to Christianity. But you don't find that happening in the Rastafari, and you're right. You know, you're so right.
So that's
But you
why
see-
we're dropping the ball, where you all do not want to burden yourself with trying to get to the nucleus of society
No, it's
and
not.
afford us the niceness that you're living with.
No, it's not. It's not a matter of dropping the ball. As I said before, you know, everything have to be in line and well aligned.
But you can't wait till the line form to join it.
No,
You got to be part of the formation of the line.
No, but we have been the foundation. We this stone that the builder refused, you know, become the red cornerstone, you know, because even with the eating what you just talked about, you know. Mr. Nital, yesterday was me out there, you know. And it either make me 70 or 80. You say 75. And listen to me now. You see my little body, me sleep last night. And I'm going to rest when I remember I have to come by you tonight, yeah. But
My apologies.
everything good. But me just drink some nurse food, stinking to a juice. Give thanks to the sister in there at the governor there, right there, coming for more. Me just drink some stinking toe juice up my nerves and ready again. You see my age, yeah? Me feel like me 17. No, this is no joke. I don't get pain like my virgin Yankee who was helping pick up garbage. He said arthritis is killing me, pain all over. I say, what is this? Pain come from mucus. Too much mucus in your body. I'm sorry, arthritis. And I don't know, who no call it arthritis. What right about that? But they get them name from about arthritis. That thing they wrong. Yeah, man, it's wrong, man. This is wrong, this. Making people feel pain. Terrible thing that. Anyhow, almost every disease come from mucus. You know? Call all of them. Mucus. Too much mucus in the inflammation, mucus. So, we learned that, so we try to keep the food alkaline, you know. Yeah, it's true. You know, I be a human being, you know. We're not just no ordinary creation, you know. Human being who consume edibles, the best edibles, and me learned that from me teens. Right now, me up there so and me job me take out dentures. Me got in this speech of me soon go pull somebody that tell me about go back South America and implant. Me not ready for that yet. So me mouth soon empty. That mean me have to go live now in my juicer and my blender because they say chew your food properly me can't chew, so me have to make sure, everything. Juicer and blender, smoothies, the real thing. So me now going to step up my liberty now as Rastafari to even stop chew. Go live like birds, fruits and feel comfortable. You see, and why you got people feel like you can't live, so you have to eat this junk of this and this junk of that, and all people are doing is killing out the little good creation what God called body art, which is the temple of God. All that President Rastafari said for the people, you know, because we come up when we realize that there's another way of eating and drinking, which set by the elders them. Because Ital come from, it's we in the Caribbean, smaller islands, put Ital to a level where even big country like Jamaica never even to that level, because we come setting Ital in something near Yabapat, you know. Jamaica, you know, about them thing there, you know.
You see it a lot from Yabapat.
What do you mean?
And they cooking that stuff and then they give you the food in Calabash.
Oh, God, I
don't know if you know more up from up College Street, God. More up and know them.
Yeah, man, I'm not.
Just across from the airport.
Just cross the road. Same people, man.
When there was one television on the road, we used to go up there go watch television.
Yeah, man, them time, the sweet time, them time, then all of them are harass we, you know, we no business, you know.
Sometimes you're sleepy, you know, but you want to wait till
Yaba come on. And you notice something about Yaba, you take off a Yaba and put it down on the ground, is still a boil, you know. Which other part you see that?
Because you got what you call good heat capacity.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So the Ital Liberty now, it revolutionized even down up to the time, you know. Up to the time when we realize, say, what a choice, because me. That's why I know say they in locks, you know. Mr. Nital. They in locks. Me want to tell everybody that. Because me I eat Ital for years without locks for me head, you know. Would you believe that?
Yeah, we got a lot of people eat Ital without locks. And the locks is not.
And seeking Rastafari too, you know. Why doing so, you know? Yeah, man. For years. Not a struggle. Me a come here still. You know, me watch on some picture the other day with me and my son. But it just, no, Jano. But that's what I tell you, Mr. Nital. Right now, my brother, give thanks to the invitation. But you see what I go on right now with the sieving. And we have to observe the sieving and know, say, yeah, the right time. Just the right time. Because the sieving have to go on. Even with the suggestion why you the womb he came from, something like that. should be something easily considered. I don't know why it is not considered, but it should be. Especially knowing the womb he came from is Rastafari, and the love that flows in a perfect way from that womb, you know, because believe you me, just like our mothers, Sister Pet, yeah, I mean, and that's that's where the present Honorable Prime Minister came from. So therefore, that should be considered. And you know, if they say better late than never, let's hope him consider something like that. It will make. I really feel like it will make a difference. It will make a difference, a touchable difference, and not just. And it can spark something regionally and perhaps globally too. Because we cannot underestimate our size, you know. The mother colony of the West Indies, and Nevis over there, Valley. No, we can't underestimate the size. We have to make do some things in the earth do some things to make other earth inhabitants take stock and say, what? What's going on here?
How far we reach in the marijuana policies that were put in place? How far? Have we moved physically, or it's just on paper still?
Well, they're saying most things is on paper. They're saying that we soon see some touchable, tangible things off the paper. I think we have come most of the way. Most of the way in terms of readiness of implementation. Yeah, it is just a matter of time for implementation, and let's hope that time will be soonest. You know.
Yeah, because I was just about to ask you what the time frame. Because I even heard the premier from Nevis indicated that he was making a call that we should expedite.
Yes, I heard him myself.
Yeah, expedite the marijuana industry.
And he's right. So, as I said, that implementation ought to be soonest. Let's hope so. Yeah?
But how are we going to deal with it, though? Because if you're going to generate revenue via marijuana or, let's say, cannabis industry, the federal government in the U.S., they have not legalized marijuana. They control the banking system. Where would we be able to financial legacy? How do we deal with that? People keep their money home in the shoebox, under the pillow, under the bed, in the pillowcase. What do you do with the revenue that you generate from something that is not seen as illegal by those at the helm? I mean, it seems legal by those at the helm.
In terms of the financial aspect of the cannabis industry, that is changing. The banking system is changing, and if it don't the way it ought to be, then it will be opening avenues for underground things.
Black market.
White market, whatever you want to
white
call
market.
it. So, therefore, it would be in their interest to, and to get it right, of course. And we know within the scheme of things, have to make sure that we show solidarity and be in solidarity with all who are aspiring to get their industry right. I mean, St. Kitts News is not in isolation. It's a regional effort going on. We have models already set. We see the failures, the success. You know, we just, yeah.
But do we distribute lands for the cultivation of cannabis from an individualistic perspective or collectively?
Well, that
What do you think might be better? Because
in-
people, foreigners come in, you know.
But
to
listen
take a
to me.
big part of
But
it.
listen to me now. We
Mhm.
we already have our individual planting going on for years.
Yes.
The industry, as I said recently, what is happening, what is about to happen is taking the industry to another, taking the cannabis runnings to another level, an industry. But what has been happening for years, people have been planting ganjas, trading ganja amounts, and then recently you have people getting products from, you know, ganja, whether it's oil or whatever, and whether entrepreneurship, business, license or
But
unlicensed,
when it
whatever.
is regulated, is a whole different
No,
twist.
no, please don't go there. So you have that. As I said, the system is catching up on what has been always there with the people. So in that catching up now, what you are saying, you know, in terms of, okay, the point you asked, collective working is always best, but then there's people who have been doing it on their own individually for years, and they must be given the choice to continue individually or be part of the collective, you know.
About the infrastructure. If you're going to widen the market, widen the production,
Yeah.
what about the infrastructure? Remember, we're getting less rainfall because of climate change.
Yes, that is considered. That is global, of course. With once we decide to launch the industry, to implement what's to be implemented, all these factors here have to be considered, and I guess things will be put in place.
Some could be controlled by man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control how much rainfall you get.
Yes, of
I
course.
remember back then when you had a heavy cloud, when you had a rain cloud passing, there are some persons in the developed country, they injected the cloud
Mm-hmm.
with iodine to make it a bit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of it drifting passing over your island,
Mm-hmm.
it would get heavy and it would really burst in your land area.
Those kind of
Yeah,
science.
those kind of scientific
Those
things.
kind of science.
But
eh?
those things are beyond us.
Mhm.
We're just not getting the rainfall like
Mhm.
once ago.
Well,
What can we do?
we just see rainfall now. No, me hear a lot of things about global warming and this and that, you know. But on it all, there's a divine power, you know, and you see Rastafari, we don't have no doubt in the divine power. And divine power is all part of controlling all these elements what you're talking about. We know, Bob this thing say, see Rastafari, no matter what the crisis is. So, with all what you just described, we see it say, we decide to press on and do what is to be done concerning this industry, and it's set right so that there's fairness right across the board, rain will come.
Rain would come.
Oh, you mean, man? No, what do you, man? We don't have no doubt. We don't have no doubt this, man. Who have doubt of the business? That is why the ministry should take the advice, the administration should take the advice what you just say and what I endorse about having an L in their midst. Yeah.
The funny thing about it is that we could get rainfall,
Mm-hmm.
we could have divine intervention,
Yes.
and the rain come as we would want the rain.
Yes.
Now, having done that and having been producing large quantities
Yeah.
of cannabis,
Yeah.
we have to get a market.
No market.
Because you can't tell
But
us
listen
that
to me
the
now.
domestic market is sufficient. Somebody gonna be overwhelmed.
No, listen to me now. Believe you me. You see this global village we are living in?
Yes.
It's made. Don't talk about the scarcity of a market. Quality dictates market.
But do we have a brand?
No, hold on, man. Brand will come. Okay. Talking about brand. Have you ever heard the name the Devil Tail?
Heard about purple haze and
Okay. No, me talking about Sinkits brand now. Forget by the name. Forget by come from. Forget by go. I didn't like the name. I did prefer the Godhead.
They call it the devil tail?
Yeah, but the man them give it the name the Devil Tail. That was one of the. That is a grade of herb that is very unique.
The potency
Um,
strong because the potency 20 years ago
yeah.
was not up there like how it is now. And that is why some people
No.
are misusing it
No.
because they don't understand
No,
the
listen.
increased potency that we have. How do you control the youngsters who don't have a clue or any experience as to how to use in a sustainable way?
We go over that many times. Listen to me now. You see, people who use herb, they have to use herb with the understanding that herb is good. This has nothing to do with potency.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that it is said that the human being have a cannabinoid?
Mm-hmm.
Good. That means we are herb friendly. Yeah? So, all these things, they're not big hullabaloo. You just need guidance. That is why it's important for us to have spaces to use herb and observe. You know? In other places, they call them lunge, smoking lunge or whatever. We can put our model in a way where, where we can observe and guide. And believe you me, you see environment, we see with the use of herb, environment have a lot to do with it. And your surroundings too. I could remember being in an environment where people start to use herb. I am not a starter, and 3 other people in there beside me might not be a starter. I have 7, 8 other people there. They are starters. And they start with some things. They start laughing. There's nothing to laugh about. But they're laughing. One start laughing, the rest start laughing. And we observing and we know what's going on. See me? So all we do is just do what we're supposed to do and make that stop. And then now, herb is a teacher because some people do it differently. I was trying to remember something with Mikey Slack and some youths. Mikey Slack in Newrish now who owns a bakery, nice businessman. Yeah, give thanks, Mikey. Your father must feel proud of you. When Mikey the youngest, ganja smoking used to go on. You see me? And there's a reasoning came up about freaking after smoking, eating. You ain't hungry, but you're eating. Now, there's 2 things that the herb teaches you in those 2 things. The laughing. Because herb is a teacher, What it's teaching you is you have been a joker all your life. You're laughing at what you laughing about? So serious of your life. The eating, herb teaching you. Oh, you're just eating like you're a rat. Choose the right things to eat. So we got you these things as elders and learn the lesson from the herb. Listen to me. I was telling Ike on radio there, I was sure when I say it, you must want to know what I'm talking about. A vehicle, because it's all about spiritual connection. Because the herb is spiritual. That's why we call it our sacrament. It's not an ordinary herb. It's not like the breadfruit tree or the soursop or this, you know what I mean? I can listen to a vehicle. I can go down to Greenlands here by the pasture, listen to a truck, pass there, he on the way to Old Road. And when he pass there, I listen to it right to Old Road, from right there. Astral traveling, I listen to the truck. I noticed you ain't commenting.
No, there's something with him
Yeah.
because sometimes I'm looking at cricket, for example,
Yes.
and I'm wondering, well, how much paces
Yes.
this pace bowler using,
Yes.
how long his run is.
Yes.
And I could turn my back
Yes.
and still calculate because I don't pick up the
You
rhythm.
don't pick up the
I
rhythm.
realized he made about between 15 and 17 paces before he reached his stump to
Yes.
deliver.
Yes.
So sometimes it's about a kind of connection that people don't understand. One time I was going on West Bongard, and they have a big container you used to park up down on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed there for months.
Mm-hmm.
I going on there one time, and I would have to come more in the center of the road
Mm-hmm.
because it has a vehicle park parallel to the container.
Yes.
And I said, well, anybody coming from west, they have to come in the middle of the road to turn.
Yes.
And I have to go in the middle of the road to turn towards the Treasury area.
Yes.
I said, no, this can't be safe.
Hmm.
So I made a getaway, and I went down College Street, God. Only when I reached around now, there was an accident right there.
Right there.
Right there. I just did some calculation and work out. I cannot come out in the middle of the road because whoever coming from the next side will also end up in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. So you say that to say?
That sometimes you could just discern things
Yes.
in advance, and that is
Yes.
what we are lacking.
Yes.
We are too superficial in
Yeah.
our foresight.
Yes.
If you don't have foresight, you can't get insight.
Yeah. And then I'm glad you said that. People just say, people use herb and herb make them do herb make what? You. Herb enhances what you meet. It brings out what you meet inside of a person.
There's 471 different chemicals inside here, you know. So you could imagine the diversity of things that it can contribute to. Look at the rosemary bush.
Yeah.
You take it and it improves your memory. A lot of
Yes.
students now making the tea.
Yes.
Making the tea.
Yes, I know.
But you have to get it from an elder. And that is why some elders are not doing sufficient.
No, I won't say that.
But I would say they could do more. They could do a little bit more.
I made a point earlier about liberty. Okay. I at one time I had experience with some youths up in the park. That side of it, the football side. That idea, and I see a whole heap of youth just enter and they go up in the corner behind me and they start smoke. One of them even presumptuous come at me for light. I had a light, but I didn't give him. They passed me there here, and I did taking them in. And after they start, they finish what they're doing, they turn upon each other. And I say, yeah. Because I feel them when they coming on, and know, say, yeah. And when they start on each other now, I just step in. And I say what I'm supposed to say. And why is I talking to them? I had a herb, I had a split from me. They make me smoking, but I had a split from me. And I intentionally light me split in the presence and start talking what I supposed to talk. And all of them bow their head and walk out one by one. I mean, do not hold it for talking. But I just put my words them the right way. And smoking while they're talking. Making sure I stay from them while they're smoking too, you know. I make a conscious of me every flex. Mr. Nital, my brother. As I said before, a lot of what is killing thing will go
I
on.
was just about to ask you about that.
Okay. Before come here, I send you something on your WhatsApp. Go in on your WhatsApp, please. Yeah. Yeah, it's serious, you know. We live in some serious times, and Sinkers News is part of the times. And if we don't get it together, we'll be going downhill instead of going up the hill. And this is not the time to go down the hill. It's time to go up the hill.
Second meeting, third session. This one?
No,
Not the UN web.
no, I send a written message to you.
Oh.
Good. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Echo that written message.
Thanks much for sharing above. Much too much polite violences within our communities, which is begetting bloody, bloodlet,
Bloodletting.
bloodletting ones. And that's it, and you have the flame there. Which is begetting bloody, bloodletting ones. You want to expound on that?
Much too much polite violences in our communities, which is begetting bloody and bloodletting ones. Ones mean violences, even murders.
Mm-hmm.
Every murder that we have about here come from something. You know, just happen. Not these things don't happen in vacuum, and we keep missing these points here. Let me touch a touchable, polite violence which involve me. I live in an area where there is a bus terminus, College Street got.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of, I went there, meet beer nastiness from the bus drivers, most of them, not all. We have one and two who is different, they know themselves. And and most of the nasty passengers them. They just drop things, choke things, any kind of how, just nasty. See, they got the empty land up there right now, where they plan to put bus terminus, and it be a filth on it. Be a unwanted things between the bush them. And there's a particular nasty driver who takes set from me and send a boy from up Monkey, Lizard. No, wrong name. Lizard is to do with cartel in Jamaica. They call him Snake. I write upon my wall, nasty people, stop littering. He come asking me how I calling him nasty. That's the way Snake approach me. And start to threaten me. Kick down my plants and was selling. It's after I find out it's the same nasty bus driver sent him. I made a report to the police station and make them know, said, tell Snake how I name, back off. I just defending my environment and being clean. And if the nasty, keep the nasty to the self. And if he threaten me and want draw me out, he ain't gonna be pretty. All right, Snake back off, may see him for a while. No, recently now, the same bus driver and the posse them continually have the woman drinking party and leave all kind of things by my doorway and my neighbor's doorway, where just try to keep clean same way. And when I dash them way, if bottles break, he come and he with his posse come and scatter the broken bottles or whatever I throw from in front of my place on my step. In this last occasion when he did that, I decided to let the bottles them steady. I said to my neighbor, this is what happened. This, don't move them. I'm not moving them either. So the broken bottles them is right there by the doorway on the step. We going to him for not saying anything. When you look now out of the blue mood, a neighbor come attack me and tell me his mother does sit where the broken bottles them be on the step. And if I get him mother caught, he say, you know who I be? You know who I be? Ask about me. Ask about me. And if his mother get caught, he coming for me. My man put no bottles on the step, you know. I dash them from in front of the gate, you know. All when this young man father telling him to cool, he's still going on threatening me and saying what he gonna do me from what he ain't gonna do me. He mother, or I didn't make a sound say, you know, Mr. Nital, that when these youths here dead, no one does feel it like mothers. But I live to be seen, even mothers is not being the parents that they ought to be, even though they just feel it the most when these youths here dead. His father, as I say, father tried to speak to him and tell him, boy, behave yourself. Right in my presence, he disrespected his father. No. I just describe this polite violence, which in if I flex the way that they are flexing, this polite violence can lead to bloody, bloodletting violence. This is just one description of the polite violences that is going on in communities in St. Kitts and Nevis. A lot of things is happening all about. People are decent people. And let me tell you something. What I notice, because we have a lot of people in our midst. See, they just had a killing up with some Spanish thing. That's happening too. But what I notice since I returned from Jamaica is that a whole heap of St. Kitts people. What is our population? 40, 50,000?
50
Good.
maximum.
Good. That means you have about between 5,000 you have between 5 to a little more over that 1,000 people in St. Kitts and Nevis, and that's a lot, you know. Don't underestimate that, you know. Almost are over 5,000 people in St. Kitts and Nevis who just walk and look trouble. Just walk and diss people. Flex so polite violences. And remember, we have a conglomeration of people who are into their own level of mentalities. So, and most of the people is traumatized people coming from where we coming from, our story that we know with enslavement. So we have a whole heap of traumatized people around here, whole heap of stressed people going through daily whatever they're going through economics or whatever, relationship or whatever. And then in the midst of that you have these people who move around, 5,000 or more, maybe more, who just move around and just flex, you know, polite violences.
And the funny thing about that, it was Gandhi who said,
yes,
an eye for an eye will leave the whole world blind.
Oh, no. You see, the whole heap of killing was stepping up in St. Kitts and Nevis. These things is not in a vacuum. And believe you me, what was the statistic for last year's murders? Is it 31 or 32?
Plus or minus one.
Okay. I have predicted that the statistic for 2024 is going to surpass that. Because we are not tackling the polite violences in our midst. And believe you me, I just describe a polite violence in let's say in that polite violence is all in political circles. People are using their tongues to murder people.
And different people got different coping skills.
Ah.
So where you might laugh,
Ah, exactly.
I might decide I'm not laughing about
Exactly.
that. And we have to
Years ago,
yes.
years ago, what I just described here with my personal description, with my thing on polite violence, years ago I wouldn't talk. I would just defend in accordance with, even though what I did wisely so, because Marcus Garvey is saying, if I did, look for me in a whirlwind. I mean, what whirlwind is all about. Storm, everything. Whirlwind and storm is things that kill enough people. So what I wisely do as an elder, even though when I'm confronted with these things, all I do is flex, I make it known, because the point I'm trying to make is, I have seen examples around here where they murder youths, murder Rastafari elders in St. Kitts, because Zambo Noel Heat was a Rastafari elder. There's lots of things around his murder, lots of talking, lots of this, lots of speculation, lots of this. The point I am making is, I know, and even though I don't fear that either, I know that there is elements who have that kind of thinking. So what I always try to do is put things in place. So I make sure, even before I utter what I just utter, I just make sure that I have conversation with certain people, that if certain things go down, Eli come again like a whirlwind, or storm, or hurricane, or earthquake.
But as you go older, and as an elder, your coping skills, experience is a good teacher. And
I know.
It increases your coping skills.
I know.
Things that you would have responded to, fight fire with fire. Somewhere along that line, as you grow, you get older, you get the experience, you tend to mix it with a little water. Something you got to out the fire. Some fires you maintain, and at some point in time, they might be rekindled. Others, you just let them go to ashes. But at least you must have inner peace. When that inner peace is disturbed, that is when you got to do your various permutation and combination as to what can I do to restore the equilibrium of my inner peace. You don't mess with people's inner peace. As much as somebody got good coping skills, once that inner peace is interfered with,
It's a different
all
thing.
kind of different combinations.
Yeah. And that is what is happening. That is what is flexing out in our midst. That is why we having bloodletting things. Because, see, you talk about the difference with coping skills. Because that thing where I just talk about, all I do throughout it is just silence and observation, No cussing, no talking, just observe. And just go in on myself and say, what? You mean to say the same polite violence is what I broadcasting every time I get a chance to go up on radio, what I talking about?
No come at your doorstep.
No come at my doorsteps. How you going to deal with this, Eli? And I say, yes. And Brother Nital, all when no, God is real.
But people looking in your direction. Youngsters looking in your direction too. Despite the fact that a youngster might have been involved, there are many youngsters looking to see how you would respond.
No, I know that, You don't think me conscious of that?
Right.
Because this talking here, what I tell you about, it ain't like nobody talking soft, The first, when the bossman said to me, is loud, he talking, And when this youth, who's supposed to be my neighbor, you know where I was when he first attacked me? I was by my boss yard, Adrian Lamb. on Greenland. You
Across
see,
the road, you
just
come
cross
to
the
the end.
road. I was by the fence and a phone call, overseas call. And this youth pass and hear my voice and start from outside in the street threatening me. And continue the threatening by me home. So the point what you make is that they're spectators to these things. You see me? So I'm very aware of what you're saying.
Restraint, boy.
Yeah, man, definitely. So the crime, the bloody violence that we are seeing in our midst, if we keep pussyfooting with polite violences, we are seeing what we are seeing right now is a smoke.
So we got to reduce the degree of being reactionary.
That
and
is
we gotta be
one.
more proactive.
Yes.
How do we get some trained minds to assist us in nipping it in the bud as early as possible? Because most of the time it's spiral out of control,
Yeah.
and that is when we want to take
Yeah,
measures.
I know. That is when we want. I know we have people in our midst. There are people in our midst who we can choose to do that. People who I will call again the right faces in the right places, who genuinely. Are you aware of the word and the vibration of something named sabotage?
Sure.
Right. So within the scheme of things, we have been hearing a lot of things in the Westminster style politics with that thing attached to it, sabotage, So we want to make sure that we identify things in every angle to make sure that what we are doing is just like what I just said a while ago about Rastafari stand being non-political. A lot of things is playing out in our midst, that a lot of things, too much to mention. With that is all wrapped around this killing. Like, okay. Hey. No, it's like a sacrifice. It's like some kind of sacrificing going on, man. Apart from the, because I don't understand. I really don't understand why we really not paying attention to what I just described as the
Polite violence.
The whole heap of polite violence. People just no, and then you have a system that is so they just wait until something happens.
Reaction.
Yeah, they're just reacting.
Need to be more proactive.
Reacting. And while them reacting going on, the different mentalities and the different elements, them just and the thing is that, I've said it and I want to keep saying it, because we're not afraid. Thinking is full of guns, Them dangerous weapons, full, them all over, I may hear somebody say something the other day about government being radical and skin out homes, and anytime them things they start, we need to be more sophisticated and more intelligent. We have a way of going them things, but the system don't. It look like that's why sometimes I wonder if, apart from the sabotage, along with the sabotage, I just wonder if there's a conspiracy for more killing to go on.
That could be another discussion.
10
o'clock is upon us now.
Yeah. Give
And
thanks to the time.
I know we could have gone on forever.
Yeah, man. As tired as we could go to 1 o'clock. What about you, Sissy? What you say? We can go on. You'll handle the machine.
Yeah, we are.
Give thanks for accommodating us. It was good to be here. Give thanks.
Yeah, and we close off. And
Anytime again, I'll be here.
it was informative and instructive, and we're hoping that those with ears, they would have heard, and we're hoping that those who heard are in position to do things.
Sure.
Because sometimes what is happening, Elder, is that those who are hearing are not in a position to do anything.
Yeah.
And those who can do something, they're
Yes.
not in a position to hear.
Yeah, I hear you.
So there is a bit of
Yeah.
confusion there.
Yes.
You get discombobulated and confused.
Mm.
So we need to have the right faces, the right places.
Yes,
at
indeed.
At the right time.
At the right time.
At the right time.
At the right
Because
time.
when time changes,
Yes.
the faces that might not be the most appropriate
Yes.
to have in those places.
Yes.
So you have a triangular system.
Yes.
Right faces in the right places
At the right time.
Right.
Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you. And that
Most
is the end of
welcome.
our
Most
program.
welcome.
I hope that you enjoy the rest of what is left of Thursday, the 18th of April.
The opinions and statements made by the host and participants in this program are not those of the owners, advertisers, and management company of Sugar City FM 90.3.